heard many stories of toxic bosses doing weird shit with their desks to assert power, but this story of a very petite woman realizing that and using it back at them is one of my favorites. Dr. Anna Kalschmidt, I research the unwritten rules of work for the working class and neurodivergence. I talk a lot on here about power dynamics and that tussle between surviving the game and not becoming part of the problem, and this is a great story of that. So this commenter says, it took me many years to learn the petty, manipulative, bullying games of abusive bosses and to realize when it was something they were doing, not my actions or misunderstandings. When I finally got to a point where I could see when it was happening, I was able to build some skills to beat them at their own game. Yes, that's what I do. My personal favorite, I had a boss who was crooked, abusive, and liked to play favorites among the staff. He was also very into humiliation rituals. He even had one of those huge executive desks and had two very low visitors' chairs so that anyone meeting with him would have to strain to look up at him sitting on high like Sauron in his big boss chair. Y'all, this is so common. It's such small dick energy, and it's so common. So once upon a time, one of his favorites screwed up a project very badly. I had been on that team and trying to blow the whistle on the problem for weeks, only to be ignored until the day it all hit the fan. Of course, the boss would never blame his favorite, so he called me into his office to take the heat. The thing is, though I am a very small person, he welcomed me into the office, invited me to sit in one of the pretty powder blue visitors' chairs, and it was like sitting in a bucket. I'm so small that in that chair, the edge of his boat-sized desk was almost up to my chin. That's intentionally humiliating. But she was clever. I could have strained to sit upright enough to face him, but instead I opted to relax into the chair with my meeting notebook on my knee. This caused me to literally disappear from his view completely, which in turn forced him to come around and sit in the powder blue humiliation bucket next to me, so we could talk. Playing field leveled. Now on equal footing, when he opened the conversation with how can we make sure this kind of problem doesn't happen again, which was passive-aggressive for I'm blaming you for this, I said, well, one way to prevent this kind of problem going forward would be for you to tell your boy to follow the procedures you set in place, like I've been asking you to do in my emails for the past month. If you need copies, I can resend them to you. No? You're all set on those? Okay, great. Is there anything else? Because I've got a lot on my desk today. Okay, great. I'll see you later. Thanks for the meeting. And I walked out. I did not get fired, and I also never got blamed again. Lesson I learned, be aware of the gamesmanship, document everything you do, always bring the receipts, and when they want you to be uncomfortable, make yourself comfy. The world is not as black and white as if you know the game and navigate it, that you're endorsing it, or that you can just completely opt out. Most of us do not have the class privilege to opt out. That's why I wrote a book on this, on the unwritten rules of work for social class and neurodivergent identities. Cannot confront enemy fire successfully without knowing what the grenades are, and that doesn't mean that you're the one throwing grenades. Understanding power dynamics and what people actually care about. There's a lot of class and power dynamics that change as you move up the career ladder. That's how you don't fall into traps like this. Bravo, well done. Do you have a story like this? Let me know in the comments. You want to learn more of these dynamics and start documenting like a pro? Join my school. It's linked in my bio. I have the option for $30 a month or while you do the course, which is self-paced, so you do it at your own pace. If you join the annual plan for $300 a year, you save 17% and you get a complimentary coaching session with me, which is normally $247 anyway. My school is also the only place where I'm pre-releasing the audiobook of my book, which is out this summer. As I edit it, I'm releasing a chapter a week. This week, chapter 3 drops. The community also has options for you winning points towards a coaching session with me, no matter which plan you're on. And one of the ways you get points is providing feedback on the audio recording. So if you want to listen to it anyway, you might as well get something else for free.